On his first day in office, President Donald J. Trump took swift and decisive action on immigration, a cornerstone issue of his campaign. He signed a series of executive orders that signaled a dramatic shift in American immigration policy. These orders, aimed at reducing illegal immigration and strengthening border security, are already having a profound impact on immigrant communities across the country. One of the most significant changes is the increased presence of Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, agents in major metropolitan areas. ICE agents are now conducting more workplace raids and traffic stops, leading to a surge in arrests of undocumented immigrants. This increased enforcement has instilled fear and uncertainty in immigrant communities, as many fear separation from their families and livelihoods. The Trump administration has also pledged to deploy additional resources to the southern border, including personnel and technology. The Department of Homeland Security has already begun hiring thousands of new Border Patrol agents and constructing new sections of border wall. These measures are designed to deter illegal crossings and make it more difficult for undocumented immigrants to enter the United States. Furthermore, the Trump administration has announced plans to restrict legal immigration, including reducing the number of refugees admitted to the United States and limiting family-based migration. These changes represent a significant departure from the policies of previous administrations and are likely to have a lasting impact on the demographics of the United States. A key element of the Trump administration's immigration strategy is the prioritization of deporting undocumented immigrants with criminal records. The administration argues that focusing on criminals will improve public safety and deter future illegal immigration. To this end, ICE agents have been directed to target undocumented immigrants who have been convicted of any crime, regardless of its severity. This focus on criminal convictions has raised concerns among immigrant advocates, who argue that it casts a wide net that could ensnare undocumented immigrants who pose no threat to public safety. They point out that even minor offenses such as traffic violations could lead to deportation, separating families and upending lives. Moreover, the administration's definition of criminal is quite broad and includes individuals who have been arrested but not convicted of a crime, as well as those who have re-entered the country illegally after being deported. This expanded definition has raised fears that even undocumented immigrants with deep ties to the United States and no history of violent crime could be subject to deportation. The administration has also indicated that it may seek to expand the use of expedited removal, a process that allows immigration officials to deport undocumented immigrants without a hearing before a judge. This streamlined deportation process, while intended to expedite the removal of undocumented immigrants with criminal records, could also be used to deport individuals who have not committed any crime, raising concerns about due process and the potential for abuse. The Trump administration's focus on immigration enforcement is highly visible. Images of ICE raids, Border Patrol agents apprehending migrants, and detention centers holding undocumented immigrants have become commonplace in the media. This increased visibility is no accident. The administration has made it clear that it wants to send a message that the United States is serious about enforcing its immigration laws. The administration's emphasis on deportations has also led to a surge in the number of undocumented immigrants being detained. Detention centers across the country are operating at or near capacity, and the administration has requested funding to build additional facilities. The conditions in these detention centers have been the subject of much scrutiny, with reports of overcrowding, inadequate medical care, and abuse. The Trump administration's immigration policies have also had a chilling effect on immigrant communities. Many undocumented immigrants are afraid to leave their homes, go to work, or even seek medical care for fear of being apprehended by ICE. This climate of fear has had a ripple effect throughout immigrant communities, impacting businesses, schools, and even places of worship. The increased visibility of immigration enforcement has also fueled anti-immigrant sentiment and rhetoric. Incidents of hate crimes against immigrants have been on the rise since the 2016 election, and the Trump administration's rhetoric about immigrants has been blamed by some for contributing to this hostile climate. The Trump administration's immigration policies have had a profound impact on the United States, dividing communities, sparking protests, and prompting legal challenges. The administration's hardline approach to immigration enforcement has been met with fierce opposition from immigrant advocates, civil rights groups, and some lawmakers, who argue that it is cruel, counterproductive, and undermines American values. The administration's policies have also had a significant impact on state and local governments. Some cities and states have declared themselves sanctuary jurisdictions, refusing to cooperate with federal immigration enforcement efforts. This has led to a standoff between the federal government and some local governments, with the Trump administration threatening to withhold funding from sanctuary jurisdictions. The Trump administration's immigration policies have also had a significant economic impact. Businesses that rely on immigrant labor, such as agriculture, hospitality, and construction, have reported labor shortages and increased costs. The administration's policies have also discouraged tourism and foreign investment, as businesses and individuals become wary of traveling to or investing in a country with such restrictive immigration policies. The Trump administration's legacy on immigration will likely be debated for years to come. Proponents of the administration's policies argue that they are necessary to protect national security, preserve American jobs, and uphold the rule of law. Opponents argue that the policies are inhumane, ineffective, and economically damaging. One thing is certain: the Trump administration's immigration policies have had a profound and lasting impact on the United States.